stop typing that comment right now. I know that you were typing a comment. Not everyone was, but there were some people that were typing a comment right now, and they probably did it before they even played the video, but maybe I saved some people the trouble. This is my follow-up series, guys, and what this series is, I haven't done it in a while, and a lot of new subscribers might not know what it is. I take a video that I've done in the past and do a follow-up on it, responding to comments, taking a look back at the video and dissecting what I said and maybe comparing and contrasting what other people says. Of course, I'm always right about everything, so it's kind of hard to do that sometimes. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the video I did a while back in June before Dragon Ball Super's release on is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta the strongest Dragon Ball character ever. If you watch my Q&As, you guys know how I kind of feel about this topic. First, we're going to look at a couple of comments, and if you want to see the video, and if you haven't seen the video, I urge you to please watch it first on the screen right now, annotated. Click that box, or if you're on mobile or don't want to click the box, go to the link down below. My God, that was a way longer intro than I expected, but it's been a big hiatus, so I wanted to do that. So, with that out of the way, watch the video, and let's get to these comments. Number one, I only got a couple comments for this one. I didn't pick out too many because a lot of them said the same things. Number one we got from Logan Norris, and I feel like I've seen him around my channel a couple times. I don't know. He isn't because he's not canon. If you saw the video, you guys know that I said that he was, in my eyes, the strongest character that has ever graced Dragon Ball, the anime and the manga. I was not including games or what if fusions like Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. I thought common sense would have kind of eliminated them. Especially with someone like Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, I thought common sense would have eliminated that. But yes, I know I'm an asshole, by the way. He isn't because he's not canon. Good argument. I've gotten that one a lot in my videos before. I guess you know, honestly, you really can't argue with that argument at the end of the day, can you? You really can't. You couldn't use something like, well, you know, Beerus did this thing, Goku did this thing, Vegeta did this thing. No, you kind of have to go to the non-canon route. And they could have done it. They could have been saying it because they were trolling, but at the end of the day, I really want to do a whole video on this. Non-canon does not mean it doesn't exist. It just means that it's not a part of the original story. It is still official characters, I suppose. And I want to do a whole video on that in the future, but we'll see. Comment number 2 here. Damn, y'all some fanboys, Gogeta not even strong anymore. Again, this is, I'm not pointing out the easy target comments because it seems like I do that a lot in this series. If you go back to the videos, you'll see the comments. This comment, a lot of them are like this. Just blatantly going against what I said and not providing any evidence whatsoever to counter it, really. And that's honestly one of the things that probably bugs me the most about doing YouTube is when people do. It's not when people disagree with me. I don't really care if you disagree with me. Something like this is something that you can go either way on. I'm going to get into that more in the video. When you disagree with me and don't provide any evidence to make a counterclaim, you just make yourself look dumb, honestly. And, you know, it's just stuff like that. It pisses me off to an insane degree. And I know I should just ignore it, but I should. I just can't. But I got a lot of comments like this, too, and it's really... It's aggravating is really the best way I could put it. Like, I could curse right now and say all sorts of shit. But it's not really necessary, and, you know, I'm just really not gonna bother myself with. This is the other one that I want to address. It was kind of the 3 main categories that I really wanted to look at for comment sections. I'm not just targeting these individuals directly. I'm using their comments as a basis to show you the 3 big groups that I saw. It's weird. No, and pretty apparently not. Goku and Beerus fighting was sending force waves throughout the universes that was destroying the entire universe. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta nor Omega Shenron did anything like that. A fair point. Again, I mentioned earlier, guys, I did this video before Super even aired. But, you know, fair point what they're saying here. But if you remember that episode, there was a reason why it stopped. The force field stopped. Yes, we didn't see anything like that in GT. Goku kind of learned how to not have those force fields, those shock waves happening anymore. He kind of learned how to control that. The fact that we didn't see that in GT, though, I don't really think that's a good... It's a fair point, but I think that can be a negligible argument. And the reason I say this is because not only does GT have terrible ways of showing off feats, which some people are like, well, that's a bullshit argument. Good, you can think that. I'm gonna say it's my channel. But Dragon Ball is such an inconsistent series with showing off feats. Even in Super, we haven't seen anything like that feat or anywhere near that level of power at all in the series, except for when the golden Shenron that we saw came out. The Super Shenron came out and was like eating planets and stuff. It was crazy. But now that shit's all out of the way, looking at this whole, and I feel like this is almost worth its own video, not debating Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super, because I've done my fair shares of that on, guess what, both fucking sides. So someone's gonna come in and call me a GT fanboy or a Super fanboy. Guess what, I like the whole series, and whichever sides I feel like are stronger, it doesn't really matter. It's my one opinion. Yeah, I analyze the series a little more than a lot of people, but am I the most knowledgeable guy in the show? Absolutely not. I've been called the king of power scaling before, thanks to Danny, and I don't really think I am. I am a guy that has an opinion and think I think I have good points on some things, but I don't think I'm the best at power scaling. I think Mike's better than me by a decent amount. At certain, we disagree on some points, of course. But I'm not going to sit here and argue about which is stronger. I'm going to just say that I still stand by the fact that, if you watch my Q&As, Gogeta is in the realm of possibility. I still feel to be one of, if not the strongest character. And the reason I say it's because looking at his fight with Omega Shenron, who was at that point in that series when it came out, the strongest character that had ever come out of Dragon Ball by a big margin. We know Goku's base form's above that of his Super Saiyan 3 even in GT, and then you get all the multipliers for the Super Saiyan. And I'm not saying that Goku's base in Super isn't stronger than Goku's base in GT, because it is. But looking at Omega Shenron, looking at how Gogeta finished his fusion, and this is where it comes down to selective feats, showing off things like this. We've never seen a character get so weak, was so much weaker than someone, and then do that fusion, get a big power boost, and then turn the opponent into absolute paste, really. When Gogeta fused, looked at Omega Shenron, and then sent him flying by looking at him. And that's amazing to me. It really is. It's not something we haven't seen before in Dragon Ball. But, looking at more selective feats, when Gogeta goes up there and just kicks Omega Shenron, and Omega Shenron is confused that he even got kicked. He got sent flying, was bleeding, but he couldn't even detect Gogeta's hits. And I feel like a lot of people glance over those parts. And again, I'm not saying it's definitive evidence, and I don't think there's any definitive evidence to say that Gogeta's stronger or weaker than Beerus or Whis. I'm not even going to talk about the Omni King because I don't even know about that guy yet. But I kind of wanted to look back at this video. This was more different than in my other follow-up episodes. I got a little bit more into this one because it's a topic that I do hold a little bit closer to me, I suppose. That's a topic I put a lot of thought into, and I think very strongly of the stuff I said in that topic. And it was a little more casual, trying to get newer people that haven't seen the series maybe. I try to keep these videos more straightforward. This one I was definitely dicking around a little bit. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this series, let me know. I know I've been very late on it in the past, and I apologize. Not every video is good for this series, but if you have any that maybe you want to see me do a follow-up on, not even just responding to comments, just going back and looking back at my old videos, I should say. Going back and looking at them, seeing what maybe I think I should have said differently, or maybe just clarifying some points, stuff like that. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this topic. The topic itself is Gogeta the strongest Dragon Ball character. I prefer it if you posted on the original video. I'm sure a million people already posted their thoughts on this before even watching the video. And don't forget, guys, if you're going to argue with me, please come up with a counterpoint. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just asking you politely to put up a counterpoint, and then we can go from there. So, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video, of course, and I'll catch you later.